So yesterday we had Season 3 revealed for Modern Warfare 2 and Warzone 2. Sitting on it and thinking about it all night, while I think there were a few missteps, I think that there's a lot on deck for Season 3. I think that things like Black Sail, that stuff is rather tone deaf, but a lot of the seasonal offering I'm actually pleasantly surprised by. And one thing that I keep thinking about, and honestly I can't wait to start grinding it out, are the new events upcoming for Modern Warfare 2, Warzone 2, and DMZ. Today I want to chat with you guys just casually about what's on deck with what the potential could be for what we start to see grinding as of next week and beyond. So as we go along, drop your thoughts down below. Do you enjoy the prospect of more grinds within Modern Warfare 2 and Warzone? Do you prefer some other type of content in place of this? Whatever the case, drop your thoughts below. But if you enjoyed the video, you find it at all insightful, do me a favor and drop a like on it. And if you're new to the channel, consider subscribing as we gear up towards Season 3 and beyond next week. I'd love to have you in the community if you'd like to stay up to date with everything on deck. And finally, check out my friends over at G Fuel, where code Espresso can get you 30% off certain items for the month of April, like Starfruit and Hype Sauce, two of my personal top 3 flavors, but link in the description below if you guys are at all interested. But for now, let's jump into it. So firstly, Season 3, of course, the entire theme is the hunt is on. It's going to be Alejandro hunting down Valeria. Seemingly, we're going to see a cinematic here for Season 3 showing how Valeria ends up escaping from the prison she was in, and then Alejandro hunting her down, maybe even continuing on within the raid storyline for mid-season with Season 3 Reloaded. But that stuff is kind of the overarching theme here. We're on the hunt here to capture Valeria once again. So as a result, the first thing that we see with the near launch, not quite launch, of Season 3 is the Trophy Hunt event. 48 hours after the launch of Season 3, not there immediately, which is kind of odd, but starting on the 14th rather than the 12th like the rest of the season, it kicks off the weekend of Season 3. But Trophy Hunt will then be live at that point. This will be live across all modes: Modern Warfare 2, Multiplayer, Warzone 2, and DMZ. The players who are killed will be dropping trophies, which are a small decorative challenge coin, and these can also be earned by doing other things like supply boxes or presumably other mundane tasks. But they can be then exchanged for items shown in the event tab in Season 3. So this will be its own events tab like we had for the Path of the Ronin event in Season 2 and so many other seasonal events of the Warzone 1.0 era, from Games of Summer onward, from Modern Warfare 2019 all the way up through Vanguard. But what's cool is this seems like it'll be very similar to the, let's say, like just for theory's sake, 9 to 10 items. It could be less, it could be more, but items you earn via challenges. Instead of ending up going out and doing something you don't quite necessarily do, it almost seems like we'll be ending up collecting coins to bank, where whether or not individually you can choose which item you want to redeem, or if it's something sequential where it's like you get 100 trophies and you unlock reward 1, 200 is reward 2, 300 is 3. This seems to be something that just simply tasks you with playing the game a little bit further, and again, not necessarily going too far out of your comfort zone to do execution kills, play a game mode that you're not quite a fan of, whatever prior cases could be as comparison. Now, the exact specifics of the rewards we'll be able to earn are being debuted soon, or maybe not. It might be still a couple of days away, but it's detail that we'll see in an upcoming Warzone 2.0 tactical overview blog. We'll be learning more specifics about the event, despite the event being non-exclusive to Warzone and instead available across all the main modes and experiences of Modern Warfare 2 and Warzone 2. But we do know we'll be collecting trophies in exchange for eventually items like weapon blueprints, vehicle skins, battle pass token tier skips, as well as what's stated as for those that redeem enough items, we'll be able to unlock exclusive operator skins for their efforts. Sounding a whole lot like an overall mastery reward. Again, especially if you take this in the way of what we've seen previously with other seasonal events, it checks out, but again, seemingly in a way that is a little bit more accessible to everyone. I'm a fan of rewards no matter what. I enjoy when these happen, and more often than not, I'll end up coming back and going for completion of all of them. I'd probably say that I've missed out on like maybe half a dozen of the blueprints and such in now 3 years that we've had events available for redemption, so I'm here for it. I love that kind of stuff. But honestly, what I'm really excited for is not coming until, unfortunately, mid-season. That being a challenge refresh for seasonal camos. What's detailed in the blog post for Season 3 Reloaded is following the Path of the Ronin challenge event currently active during the end of Season 2, Season 3 will feature an exclusive set of camos players can earn as a part of the mid-season event, stating that more details on the event will be available later this season. Again, not really expecting too much until about a week before the mid-season update itself, so sometime into early May, as weird as that sounds to consider, but that's something that following the Path of the Ronin event and what we saw with that, I actually love that change that came with Season 2 Reloaded. Now, format, I'm expecting to be similar to what we saw with Path of the Ronin, but also it might not necessarily be exactly the same, but either way, I'm excited for something to grind down. As we've talked about before, there's still plenty of different options they could end up doing, just even if they wanted to bring back classic mastery camos or something like that. I mean, we saw Cherry Blossom in prior Call of Duties before, so what we had for the Path of the Ronin event wasn't necessarily new. It wasn't exclusive to Modern Warfare 2, but it was something still to grind for. The camo overall looked pretty good. So again, as I've pitched out before, I mean, you have things, other mastery camos that people would love to see return. Damascus and Obsidian, for example, would be great ideas. I've gone so far as to say, because I'm a fan of like animated camos and stuff like that, I absolutely would love to see like Solar and Black Sky come back from the Infinite Warfare mastery camos. I think that would be awesome to see, but regardless, it is something we have confirmed already that it will be coming back. And to me, that is a massive win for the season and a much smaller scale in terms of things that people might not pay as much attention to. Obviously, when you have a new season like this, you want to pay attention to the maps, modes, weapons, operators, all the content that you can actually play, functionally speaking, plus also changes coming to the game for maybe movement, maybe any map changes. That stuff is yet to be described in terms of what is upcoming for like Warzone and stuff. But I mean, when you come down to it, yes, you have that functional content. Yes, you have those changes being made that hopefully should make the game better foundationally. While it is very important to pay attention to those larger scale things, while it's important to hold studios accountable to offer enough content in that space, the small details are just as important to keep players playing. And for this, I think that's a great win for the season, even if the rest of the stuff may not be up to your standards, or maybe they are. But for me, I thought the announcement of this was a great thing. If you want to bring players back to the game, you have to offer something of value. You have to make their time worth it, make it seem like the time they're putting in is valued enough that they should keep coming back. I understand the base level of where like the Warzone 1 era tried to bring players back by saying, oh, you have to rank up again, you have more prestiges to go through. But let's be honest, as we've seen time and time again, rank is not as important to people as it was beforehand with, say, the traditional 10 prestiges or whatever the case may be with the classic Call of Duty games. There's no real grind worth just coming back season over season for another 100 levels, 200 levels, whatever the case. I mean, at the most, you got a blueprint for just simply playing the game and going through those ranks. Beyond that, rank was kind of just a number. It didn't have any true value to it the way the systems were structured. But you'll dangle that carrot like a real reward, like a camo, something tangible the player can see in every single game they play. If they unlock it, you put something like that and it's cool enough to a mass amount of players, you'll get people coming back much more organically than if you just say reset their rank. When it was my rank, I didn't really care too much, and sometimes I felt like it was a chore to come back and play season over season at some points during the past 3 years. But now whenever we see this and we have the confirmation that we'll be getting a new grind, a new camo set to work through, I want to come back and play. It's not that I feel like I need to, but I want to. So I'm very happy that we have this blueprint now for something going forward that maybe you guys feel differently on, but it is something that I quite enjoy this system, and seeing it now for a second time in a row gives me hope that for season 4, season 5, if there is a season 6, that we could see this stuff continue on again. And what's even cooler is that if that rumor of whatever happens this next year with the project that releases this fall, if things are going to transfer from this game into that game, it offers even more longevity for this kind of stuff where it won't be irrelevant in 5, 6, 7 months time. So I quite enjoy that. But that said, that's where we're at. Just wanted to fill you guys in and focus a little bit more on the event space, because again, I think it's one of those smaller details that really can help shape and mold the season into something either good or disappointing. But again, all subjective. Let me know your thoughts down below. Before we wrap everything up though, make sure you check out my friends over at G Fuel for 20% off all items all the time with code Espresso, and 30% off certain items like Starfruit and Hype Sauce tubs for the month of April. Honestly, those two are in my regular rotation. A cup of G Fuel is like my cup of coffee in the morning for me. So those are two of my main 3. Great choices if you ask me. But if you'd like to check those out or pick something up, use code Espresso for 20 to 30% off certain items over in the link in the description below. But that's it. That's what we're going to call it. So again, let me know your thoughts down below. Do you like the sound of these events? Maybe not so much. If you enjoyed the video, you find it at all insightful, do me a favor and drop a like on it. And if you're new to the channel, consider subscribing to stay up to date with all things Modern Warfare 2, Warzone 2, and anything COD related. Leading up to season 3 here, we've got a lot up on deck. So love to have you in the community if you'd like to stay on top of everything. But for now, thanks so much for watching. My name is Espresso. I'll see you guys later. Take care and peace.